This video was brought to you by Thunderful.
Listen, Dad, really listen this time. I don't want to say it again. Just because Mom is running, that does not mean you have to catch her. Just running. I don't know why she does it. No, because she's not running away. She's just running around. Dad, just ignore her. Yes, you can. Oh, no. Dad, I gotta go. No, I'm not gonna call you back. Hello?
This is Magnus Bloodstrom, King of Thunderful Group.
Yes, I know who this is. What can I do for you today, Your Majesty?
You have done well spreading the word of our award-winning games thus far. But I have another task for you, and a very important question. Do you have experience with the SteamWorld games?
Yes. Yes, I actually do. I have played several of them.
You have? Well, then you should have no trouble playing and creating video content for SteamWorld Heist II.
No problem at all. I really love the first game, and I can't wait to dive into this one.
Good. Very good.
Okay then. I guess I better... Ah! What was that for?
Gotta keep you on your toes.
You! The SteamWorld devs know how to make a good sequel. SteamWorld Dig was phenomenal, if a little small in scope, and then Dig 2 expanded it and improved upon it so dramatically. An above and beyond perfect sequel. Then later I played the original Heist, and this was a game that already felt very complete. Almost perfect. So when they announced that it was getting a sequel, I was so curious to see if they could give it that same juice, to improve upon it in meaningful ways, and not only justify its existence, but impress the heck out of me all over again, to deliver another perfect sequel. SteamWorld Heist 2 is a turn-based, cover-based tactical shooter with a big emphasis on bullet trajectories and ricocheting shots. Units move around the map, taking cover behind objects, trying to land shots while staying out of harm's way. I like how there are a lot of different directions they could have gone with this, lots of traditional objectives you'd expect to find in a tactics game, but this one remains very focused. It's a heist game, so it's all about movement. You're not capturing territory, defending positions, that kind of stuff. Every mission is about dropping into an area, grabbing loot, hitting any other objectives, and staying alive long enough to get out. Any cover-based tactics game runs the risk of moving very slowly and encouraging defensive gameplay, so I think it's very impressive how they've managed to make one this fast-paced, where aggression and action are rewarded. It's very refreshing to play a game in this genre where units can cover so much ground within a turn. Normally, this much traversal on small maps would make for enemies that can gang up way too readily, but this is mitigated by the ample cover, enemies that also feel the need to protect themselves, and the semi-random, semi-skill-based nature of the attacks. It's such a fine-tuned system. The combat flow is just exquisite, so breezy, and the missions are relatively short as well. It's a tactics game with none of the stuff that makes tactics games drag for me sometimes, so I can easily play for hours and hours without getting that brain exhaustion, you know? And the element that really brings the whole thing to life is the free aiming. You can aim most attacks manually, and it gives the experience a very crunchy, tactile kind of feeling. It's a little bit of skill requirement to spice up the tactics. It gives you a sense of agency, like you're not just issuing commands. The individual shots are all up to you as well. Long-range attacks with aiming lasers allow you to pull off these wacky ricochet shots, which is immensely satisfying, especially when you can take out multiple foes at once, or take out a big one from a great distance. Lots of attacks without sights also ricochet though, so naturally there's a lot more guesswork here, but then it's that much more rewarding when you pull it off. Then there's the kind of random element. You never quite know where your bullets are gonna go, and this will frequently work in your favor. When all else fails, you can try to take a wild shot, and you will be surprised by how often it works out. This is one of those games where the core gameplay is just so much fun. They really struck gold here. But then they knew exactly how to build on top of it and play to all of its strengths. There are several different weapon types to choose from, and each is associated with its own job and whole list of unlockable skills. And man, in most games like this, I tend to find a couple of units or strategies I like most or that I feel are just the best and stick with those, but not here. Each job comes with these crazy powerful attacks and abilities. Like, it's impossible to look at one and not think, okay, this has got to be the best job. But then I feel that way about all of them. I was about to say that this makes picking which units to bring into a mission hard, but then I realized it's the opposite. They're all so skilled. Every unit is so strong in certain areas, but they're also not too weak in other areas. They're all pretty well-rounded to a degree, so they usually all feel like good picks. And even better, this sequel introduces a sort of job mixing system. Change a character's weapon and raise their level for the associated job, and as they unlock skills, they'll gain the ability to use those skills even when they're not using that weapon. So if a character is a Reaper, for example, their Reaper level will grow and all their Reaper skills will unlock for free. But if they've gained some levels in another job, they use these cogs to activate those skills, and this can make for some crazy synergy. If the perks were already strong, adding them together is just nuts. I will admit this does threaten to make the game a little bit grindy. There's this temptation to raise everyone's levels in every job to gain access to a whole bunch of skills, because if you don't, you're kind of just missing out. But there are a few items and upgrades you can get to mitigate this a little bit, and overall, it's an awesome system. It makes every character so flexible. It encourages switching things up sometimes, and the cogs can be unequipped and equipped all you want, so you are never locked into anything. You can keep experimenting all you want. It's one really terrific way the game expands upon the original, and I think a lot of other games could stand to take some notes. And between leveling up jobs and slowly acquiring new gear, Heist 2's progression system is, it is just excellent. You're always unlocking something new, finding a better weapon or item, upgrading your crew and their abilities. Each thing feels so meaningful. You get these fist-pumping, oh yes kind of moments constantly. You get tangibly stronger all the time, and it feels great. And if you want to talk about changes over the original, this game's whole aesthetic identity has taken a surprising turn. The first SteamWorld Heist was set in space, but this one brings things back down to the ocean of all things. You would think that this shrinking of scope would be a detriment, but it's not at all. The entire vibe has shifted. The robots are all pirates in the age of sail. It's all sparkling water and tropical sands. The color palette is comparatively very bright and vibrant now, and it's positively perfect. The pirate angle naturally fits the heist theme, and every time the SteamWorld devs change settings, they clearly have a lot of fun adapting their universe to match. The story and characters in the original were good, but the writers have really outdone themselves here. The world building is very thoughtful. Each SteamWorld game takes place in a different era of the same universe, so it's always fun to see all these references and see how they all connect. And the characters are simply superb. All the crewmates you can hire are unique. They've all got their own personal philosophies and outlook, and you can chat with them and learn about them and get their input throughout the game. You play as Captain Leeway, who stands in his mother's shadow and struggles with insecurity, which is an interesting angle. But the great writing extends to all the characters, even the random NPCs scattered about. There's such an impressive amount of creativity on display. These robots and all their troubles are somehow so relatable. It's a family-friendly cartoon game about funny little robot pirates, but it was approached with such care and nuance. The writers really know how to craft a character, even a minor character, and get in their head and figure out how the world looks from their perspective, and it gives the game such an authentic feel. There's also a heaping helping of social commentary. It's hard not to see a reflection of our own world's struggles here. The pirate theme isn't just about story and aesthetics, though. Heist 1 had you flying around space in your ship, and this was really just a series of map screens more than anything. This time, the traversal itself is part of the game. You steer a submarine around one huge map, so there's an exploration element now. You can unlock new abilities that open up new places. You know I'm a big fan of that. And there's even some light naval combat. You acquire weapons and upgrade your sub. You can choose whatever loadout you want, kind of mix and match. The combat is real-time, and the guns fire automatically, so your job is just to maneuver and aim and dodge attacks. And there's a day system now, where your units become exhausted after missions and you have to rest at a tavern to make them usable again. And there's also this whole bounty thing, where the more you manage to do before you rest, the more rewards you get when you do. This new ocean exploration system ran the risk of pulling the experience too far off course. No pun intended. I mean, this is a tactics game after all, but it's all just light enough that it never gets in the way. It's all very fast, it's relatively simple, it never demands so much that it feels like a distraction or an obligation. Instead, it's a lovely little palate cleanser between missions. Exploring and battling other vessels and picking up loot all over the place, all of which, of course, supports you in actual combat, is incredibly satisfying. It enriches the whole experience, rounds it out. It gives a greater sense that these characters are really in this sub, really exploring this world. It feels a lot more immersive. And being able to tackle regular missions within an area in any order is a fantastic bonus. A small thing that makes a big difference. If you want to talk about problems with the game, I've only got minor quibbles. The ocean stuff is light and breezy for the most part, but the option to fast travel to taverns at the very least would be nice. Just to cut down a bit on travel time when you just need to rest real quick. And watching a lot of enemy units take their turns can drag a smidge, but I don't want to skip everything in case there's something I need to see, so a fast forward button would be greatly appreciated. Then, being able to save equipment loadouts would also make swapping jobs a little easier. Having to do it all manually is slightly cumbersome. That's pretty much it though. Just like every SteamWorld game I've played, Heist 2 is a meticulously designed and polished experience. It takes a winning gameplay formula and makes it that much better. The job options, the naval exploration and combat, the setting and story and characters, everything old has been improved, and everything new lifts it all up that much further. It can be really challenging, but there are no penalties for mission failure, and the game has a wealth, I really mean a wealth, of difficulty options, allowing you to fine-tune just about everything to your liking. So it's extremely accessible. Even more, this game packs in probably twice as much content as the original. Easily dozens of hours, especially if you want to do everything. I have genuinely not been able to put it down, and from where I'm sitting, there's no better way to play than handheld, so Switch is a very, very good option. I can confidently say that the SteamWorld devs have done it again. They have made another perfect sequel. Look, I'm not saying you have to stop running entirely. I'm just saying do it like around the block, at a park, like on some kind of track, like you have a plan about where you're going. I don't know, because it's freaking Dad out. I know, yes, in a healthy society, we would be allowed to run wherever and however we want without judgment. Yes, yes, yes. I know, and prancercise. I know it's the exercise of the future that will unite us all. Look, Mom, I gotta go. Just at least put some shoes on, okay? King Bloodstrom, before you say or lightning anything, I played SteamWorld Heist 2, I loved it, and the video is done and in your inbox.
Yes, I am aware. You have done well, furry blue Nintendo YouTuber. Your service to Thunderful will not go unrewarded. I wish to thank you in person.
In person? Aren't you in Sweden?
I will arrive shortly. Please make a space for me.
Space? I mean, I could set up the couch, I guess.
You are standing in the presence of Magnus Bloodstrom, King of Thunderful Group. What?
Nothing. I just.
What?
No, nothing. I just.
What?